Hello, so welcome to this class. So in this class, we're going to be looking at how to estimate the fares for our trip. As you can see, the trip from our pickup location to our destination will cost us $760 to $780. So I just want to say that these are just estimates, okay? And the duration for our trip is estimated to be around 1 hour 41 minutes. So we are going to be looking at how to get these values, all right? So this is actually a real value and this is based on our estimate, okay? So before we continue, I want to give us some highlights on how Uber calculates our trip fares, all right? So there is something called base fare. The base fare is a particular amount that must be charged for each trip. This charge also applies when rider cancels trip after the driver has arrived. That is the base fare. And also we have the time fare. The time fare is an amount charged for every minute spent on the trip. And the last one is the distance fare. The distance fare is an amount charged for every kilometer on the trip. And when you sum these three up all together, it will now form our total fares. Alright, so this is actually the process we're going to be following in this particular class. So without much ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing we need to do is to get the distance from our pickup location to our destination. Alright, we need to also get the duration for the trip. So to do that, we're going to go to our map function helper. Alright, so good enough, our direction API comes with this information inside of it. Alright, so we're actually going to just go ahead and grab them. Okay, so to do this, we need to define some global variables that we can access from outside this class. Alright, so I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to say public double distance. Okay, so again, I'm going to say public double duration, and I'm going to say public string distance string and public string duration string. Okay, so I'm going to assign values to the variables we just created. So I'm going to say duration will be equal to direction data dot routes dot legs dot duration dot value. So this will actually give us the duration for the trip in milliseconds. All right, so the next one is distance direction data the route 0 the legs the distance the value. Okay, so the next is our duration string. All right, the test. So this will actually give us our duration in test. Okay, so if we're going to spend 1 hour 20 minutes, it's going to return 1 hour 20 minutes for us. All right, so we're going to do the same for our distance string. So it's going to return, okay, so we spelled this wrongly, so let's correct it. Okay, distance string will be equal to direction data the route 0 the legs 0 dot distance the test. Okay, so we are done here. The next thing we need to do is to define a new method that will estimate our fares. All right, so I'm going to say public void estimate fares. Okay, so like I earlier said, we're going to copy the Uber's format of calculating or estimating fares. So we need to get the distance first of all. So to calculate the distance fare, we need our distance. This is in meters, so we need to convert it to kilometers first. All right. So I'm going to say double kilometers equal to distance over 1000. This will convert our distance to kilometers, right? And so to convert our seconds to minutes, we're going to say double means equal to duration over 60. So this will convert our duration to minutes, all right? So before then, we need to know the amount we're going to be charging as our base fare, time fare, and distance fare. So let's just go ahead and say double base fare. We just set this to be $20. You can just go ahead and set this to $20 USD, and our distance fare will be equal to, so we are going to be charging $5 per distance, all right? So like I said, guys, these are just tentative values. So there are different ways you could go about it, right? You can even be bringing new values from your database, but these are just tentative values for the purpose of this class alone, all right? These are not industry standards at all, okay? So our time fare will be equal to, let's say, $3 per minute. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply this by our distance fare, and we multiply this by our time fare, all right? So the amount will be, so distance fare, which is km, so we can just go ahead and put it this way. So our distance fares plus our time fare plus our base fare will give us our total amount, okay? So to ensure we don't have, decimal places, we can just go ahead and round this down, all right? So I'm going to say double fares equal to mat dot floor bracket amount over 10 multiplied by 10. So this will always give us an integer value, a whole number. So let's say we have $160.3. We'll just round it down to $160. But if we have $160.7, we also round it to $160, all right? Next thing we need to do is to return this value. We're going to return fares. So in that case, we'll make this a public double, all right? So everything checks out. So now we need to go back to our main activity so that we can get these values from there and set it to our view, all right? So we now need to get a reference to the test view that displays our fares estimate and our duration estimate, all right? So I'm going to say test view tst fare equal to test view bracket find view by id resource.id dot trip estimate fares tst. I'm going to say test view tst time is going to be equal to test view bracket find view by id bracket resource.id new trip time text, okay? So now we have these references. We need to get the values of our estimate fare and our estimated time of arrival as well. So after this method has been called, because this is where we grab the values of our distance and our duration. So I'm going to say tst fare dot test equal to map helper equal to dollar plus map helper dot estimate fares dot to string, all right? We'll try to just add extra $20 so that it will be a range, all right? Okay, bam. So I know this is some kind of long code, but this really works, okay? So the next thing we need to do is to set up our estimated time of arrival. So I'm going to say tst time dot tests will be equal to map helper dot duration string. All right, so this is the reason why we made that variable public, so that we will be able to access it from anywhere. All right, okay, all right. So this is all we need to do at this moment. So we just need to go ahead and run this and ensure that everything works well. Okay, so let's run our app. Okay, so we're gonna set our pickup location. And our destination. Bam. So everything works exactly as we planned it. So it's 18 minutes and our estimate fare is $120 to $140. So guys, this is how to estimate our fares. I hope you really enjoyed the class. So see you in the next class.